Atlantis, this tropical wonderland set the backdrop as 4 days ago the largest field in PCA history came out to play. All gunning for a piece of the $15 million prize pool and top prize of $2.3 million. Big names like Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu,
I'm so curious.
Jason Mercier and Victor Blom all went home early, while Mr. PCA himself, Elke, couldn't manage to get past day 3. Day 4 saw the tension rise as the eliminations piled up, leaving an elite field of 22 set for what should be a thrilling penultimate day.
One more time, go on and celebrate.
Now just 3 tables are in action, and the main man at the feature table, Chris Moneymaker, knows the target is on his back.
Yeah, I've got you right where I want you now.
Seated with Moneymaker is Mike Sowers, who's looking to get back to the top of the leaderboard.
This is the best I've ever played in my life.
Joining them is Sam Stein, who after a couple of near misses is shooting for his breakthrough live win.
Winning this would definitely solidify where I want to be.
Out in the field are 2 dangerous big stacks. First is the ultra-aggressive and confident Chris Oliver.
I don't feel like anybody could be better than me at the tournaments right now. I feel like I'm almost perfect.
Then there's the only lady left, Ana Laura Marquez, who just happens to be the chip leader.
Thank you.
Time to hand over to our commentators, James Hartigan and William Reynolds.
22 players remain. The aim of the day is to play down to our final table, our final 8. 7 players at our feature table, including the main attraction, Chris Moneymaker.
There is everybody at this table I've not played a single hand with except for you.
That's Sam Stein.
I haven't played a single hand with anybody in this tournament.
You really haven't been at the same table with
I know, it's insane.
And sitting alongside Stein is Mike Sowers. Let's see who else is seated on the TV table. Brian Collins in the 1 seat, Max Weinberg in seat 2, Joel Patchell in seat 5. James St. Hilaire rounds off the selection of players with the blinds at 25 and 50,000 with a 5,000 ante. Weinberg folding under the gun. Sam Stein is going to raise it up with his pocket 4s, makes it 115,000. And Sowers makes the call with the ace-8. Ace-queen for Patchell.
Come on.
And he shoves.
With 340,000 chips already out there in the pot, this is a great opportunity for Patchell to more than double up.
Chris Moneymaker has folded the Jack-6. St. Hilaire and Colin have both folded as well.
Call.
Stein makes the call. Sowers gets out of the way. So we have a classic race on our hands. Stein, marginal favorite with the 4s. Patchell with the overcards. He will need to connect to survive.
Sam would rather gamble than play poker here.
It's all hearts on the flop. No one has a heart in their hand. Patchell has paired his queen and has taken the lead. He's 86% favorite to double up.
It's good-ish news.
I think Stein would take issue with that. King of diamonds on the turn. So Patchell just has to fade a 4 on the river. Sam Stein only has 2 outs here. And it is a 4 on the river.
That is 5%.
So Joel Patchell finishes in 22nd place.
Rough run out.
$75,000 he'll collect. Stein is the new tournament chip leader with a stack of 3.9 million.
The gamble paid off in exciting fashion.
Wow, nice hand, Sam.
Thank you. That was fun.
What's that?
That was fun.
I'm sure it was.
Stein does have a reputation as the nearly man after 2 second-place finishes in the last season of the North American Poker Tour. Well, Ana Laura Marquez started the day as chip leader. She's the last woman left in the tournament. She's facing a re-raise pre-flop from Dimitri Stelmach. And she's decided to let it go.
I played with Dimitri last year at the PCA High Roller Final Table. He's known to take calculated risks as he was a mathematician in Moscow.
He chips up. Ana Laura Marquez down to 3.3 million. Meanwhile, the man who held the chip lead for most of yesterday, Chris Oliver, is involved in a hand against Grayson Ramage. Ramage has re-raised with his kings. And Oliver shoves with his 8s.
Overplayed.
Call.
Ramage checks that he has got kings, makes the call. Chris Oliver in horrible shape here. And this is a massive pot 4.5 million in the middle.
We could have a new chip leader.
And it looks like that chip leader will be Chris Oliver because he spiked an 8 on the flop.
Disaster for Grayson.
He needs to see a king on the river or he's gone from the tournament. A horrible beat for Ramage. Chris Oliver back on top in the PCA main event with a stack of nearly 6 million chips. So 20 players remain. This is the top 10. Oliver on top with Stein in second place, where he always is. Chris Moneymaker third in chips right now. And if we look at the bottom half of the leaderboard, there are 4 players with fewer than 1 million chips, 3 of them with shoving stacks: Max Weinberg, Shane Carner, and James St. Hilaire. Well, I say they're the players with shoving stacks. Chris Oliver seems quite happy to shove 200 big blinds in. He's getting a visit from the other Chris.
I want go-go gadget raise. Go-go gadget raise.
Good luck today, man. Good luck, guys.
The Chris's were seated together at the feature table on day 4. They tangled a fair few times. Moneymaker seemed to get the better of Oliver consistently, and there was one key hand for Moneymaker.
I've got pocket 7s. I raise in early position, and Chris, like I expected he would, re-raises. I don't want to, get into these monster pots with him out of position or in these monster pots where I'm running huge races.
What you got, Chris?
1.5. What I want to do is see a flop. So I think I'm a very good post-flop player. The flop comes 8, 9, 10. I think my pair could definitely be good here, and my draw is more than likely good. I check, and he checks behind. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a really big hand at this point. The turn card comes the 10 of clubs, which makes me a straight flush possibility. He could have an 8 or a 9. If he has a 10, he probably is going to raise this spot, so I'm going to find out.
170.
Call. At this point, I'm like, okay, great. Now he's sitting on one of these 8s or 9s type hands, or he's got maybe a big club. The jack of clubs came on the river. Obviously, bingo for me. It makes me a straight flush. I know he's aggressive. Given how he called on the turn, there's no way he's not betting the river. So I check, giving him the ability to put some chips in the middle. He does so, betting 200,000. Now at this point, it gets a little bit hairy for me. If I raise here, he's only calling with really good clubs, or maybe the full house, which is obviously what I'm rooting for. But the danger is if he has the queen of clubs and I get reshipped, I've got a huge decision to make. And if it's just that bad of a cooler, it's that bad of a cooler.
I'll make it 450.
I got the maximum value out of this hand. I was not going to let him get me in a big flip, and we were going to play poker.
Well, Sam Stein has just called James St. Hilaire's all-in. He had to make a move sooner or later. Unluckily, his king-queen has run into Stein's kings. Well, he has picked up a heart draw on the flop. Stein sitting there thinking they never make it easy, do they? There has to be a sweat. It's compulsory. But no drama with that river card. Stein makes a full house.
Good game, James.
And St. Hilaire is sent to the rail.
Hope on the flop, dead on the turn.
So I was hoping for an 8 on the turn. That works too.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Yeah.
So everyone a step closer to making the final table. Everyone a step closer to winning the $2.3 million first prize and lifting the winner's trophy. A lot of support here at Atlantis for Chris Moneymaker, not least from his mindset coach, Sam Chahan, who's railing him right now.
Oh, dude, hey, listen, for about 8 years, dude, if the tournament starts at 12, I get up 12:15, maybe take a shower, run downstairs, donk off chips, go back to bed. For 8 years.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah, that's why I had to change. 2011, I said I was going to do things different.
So a couple of new players at our feature table. Rafael Golka, who has a stack of 1.7 million, and Galen Hall, who has nearly 4 million in chips. Hall has folded to Sam Stein, who has 8-9 offsuit.
If I know Sam Stein, he's going to be coming in strong with this hand.
Sam Stein, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, Chris. Sam Stein, and he's raising your big blind.
He's made it 115,000. Moneymaker has Jack 10 in the big blind. The sunglasses are going on.
What do you got, Sam? Ballpark.
3-9.
309?
3.9 to start.
3.9?
I have a read. He's gonna play the hand.
It would have been an impressive read if he hadn't already put chips in the middle.
Funny, funny, funny.
So heads up to the flop. Moneymaker hits bottom pair and a gut shot. Sam Stein also with a gut shot. Moneymaker checks to the razor.
Sam Stein's not gonna slow down. He's gonna attack this pot.
140,000.
Back to Moneymaker with a pair and a gut shot to Broadway.
He makes the call. The turn card is the 8 of hearts. Now Stein has a pair as well.
And Moneymaker just became a double gutted. A 9 or a king will make him a straight.
He checks a second time.
And Sam Stein looks like he's gonna bet a second time.
He does for 310,000. This pot is building.
The price to play is getting a bit spendy.
With Chris making that call, there is now close to 1.2 million in the middle. Well, neither player hits their straight. It's a pair of 8s for Stein, a pair of 10s for Moneymaker.
Not the river Moneymaker wanted to see. He may even be afraid of this backdoor flush draw that hit.
So he checks. Stein has fired the flop. He's fired the turn. Can he empty the clip? Can he fire one last time? Can he get Moneymaker to lay down the best hand?
Chris only has the bottom of his range bluff catcher, but Sam has only bet half the pot.
Really?
This is the fake value bet.
Moneymaker calls it.
You got it.
The fake value bet only worked in 2007.
I almost have that beat, actually. That's pretty sick.
No, almost doesn't work here. Missteps happen.
Moneymaker wins a big pot. Stein's stack slides down to 2.8 million. Moneymaker up to 5.6 million.
It's hard to bluff the fish.
Moneymaker is indeed the biggest fish in what is becoming a smaller pond. 18 remain in the Bahamas, all hoping to make it to the final table. If you would like to play in an EPT event, go to PokerStars.com. There are qualifiers every day. Welcome back to Atlantis and the PokerStars.com Caribbean Adventure.
It's day 5 of the tournament, and we've already lost 4 players. The action continues to move at breakneck speed. And out at table 2, we have another all-in. Philippe Plouffe has shoved with 7s, and he's been called by Marty Mathis with King-Queen. So Plouffe is flipping here.
Yes!
He's hit a 7 on the flop.
Yes!
Mathis is going to need running cards for a straight. The king on the turn is too little, too late. Mathis is drawing dead.
Thank you.
Plouffe will get the double up. He's now going to be sitting on a stack of nearly 2.2 million. So 18 players remain, including Chris Moneymaker, who just chipped up against Sam Stein. Stein had been cruising along nicely, then he hit that bump in that big pot against Moneymaker. He's now down to an average stack, still in a good position to make the final table, and he has got a fair few final tables on his resume. It's wins he needs.
This past year has been really good. Last year in the PCA 5K, I finished second. Then about a month after that was the NAPT at Venetian. I got second in that. A few months after that was the NAPT, was the Mohegan Sun High Roller, 25,000 buy-in, and I got second in that.
I'm a favorite, right?
When I was heads up in the Venetian, I made a couple mistakes in a couple hands where my opponent was aggressive. In the other 2, I got really unlucky. I've definitely learned a lot. I've done better than I could have ever expected, but it starts hurting a little bit. Definitely sick of getting second. I played with so many really good players at those final tables, so I have a good feel for what everyone's doing in these tournaments nowadays.
You gave me pro, sorry bud.
I feel pretty confident with the players that are remaining in the field. I mean, the final table's step 1, but my goal is to win, and coming in second just doesn't quite get the job done. It would mean so much to take the title after having a few second place finishes. I really want to win this tournament.
When asked on our questionnaire for his poker dislikes, Sam wrote, finishing second. Blind still 25-50. Action's on Max Weinberg. Ace-Jack. And he's raising from under the gun to 115,000. Galen Hall gets out of the way. Ace-Queen for Sam Stein.
Trouble for Weinberg. Dominated ace behind him.
It's a 3-bet to 260,000. Sowers folds. Moneymaker with 7-8 offsuit. Looks like he's going to. Oh, hang on a second.
My read, he's putting his shades on. I think we're going to see the cold 4-bet.
No, he's passed. He fooled us.
He's well balanced.
So action is back on Weinberg. And he shoves. And Stein makes the call. Weinberg in horrible shape here.
Bold move at the wrong time.
This is a huge pot.
That's a lot.
Even Sam's surprised.
The ace on the flop changes nothing. Weinberg still needs to see a jack. He has 3 outs. And he needs to see that jack on the river, or his chips get added to Sam Stein's stack and he takes the walk to the rail. There is the jack on the river. The 3-outer gets there and Weinberg gets the double up. It's not really going Sam Stein's way today, is it?
Weinberg got into poker after seeing Chris Moneymaker on the television. Now he gets to play with him a little bit longer at this feature table.
And Sam Stein, one-time chip leader, is now one of the short stacks. He has fewer than 1.5 million chips.
Downswings happen.
Over at table 3 is Ana Laura Marquez, who started the day as chip leader, but hasn't been able to hold on to that chip lead or get anything going today. She watches on as Shane Carner moves all in with ace-queen.
I have an all-in
and is
bet,
called
and I
by
have a call.
Anton Yanel with ace-10. A great spot for Carner to get a double up.
Where's my guy?
But we did just see ace-queen lose to ace-jack. And we could be about to see it lose to ace-10.
If there's one hand I hate in poker, it's ace-queen.
If it's not a queen on the river, Shane Carner
Give me a deuce.
is eliminated from the tournament.
Queen ball.
He doesn't hit his queen. And Shane Carner is our 18th place finisher. While the Romanian amateur rakes in that pot. Carner will collect $87,500 for his deep run in this year's PCA. Meanwhile, over at table 2, Chris Oliver is in good position to eliminate another player. He called Marty Mathis's all-in pre-flop. His 10s are still good after a flop of king 8-6. Another 6 on the turn means Mathis is drawing to an ace and an ace only to survive. He doesn't hit, and just like that, we are down to 16 players, 2 tables of 8.
Surprise, surprise, Oliver got his money in with the premium.
So let's see how our final 2 tables stack up. Chris Oliver and his massive stack of 7 million chips will take a seat at table 2, along with one-time chip leader Ana Laura Marquez. Meanwhile, on our feature table, Chris Moneymaker still has the chip lead with 5.6 million, and Sam Stein has managed to chip his way back up to 2.4 million. Chris still looking for his first major tournament win since the 03 World Series. So Michael Pesek has taken a seat on the TV table, along with the Romanian amateur Anton Yanel. The blinds are up to 30,000, 60,000 with a 5K ante, and Chris Moneymaker is under the gun. He has ace-7 suited. The sunglasses are going on. Normally that means he's going to play, and this time it rings true. He's going to raise it up to 140,000.
No faking me out this time, Chris.
Action folded to Galen Hall, who has pocket 10s.
Excellent hand in the hijack.
He's going to make a small re-raise, a 3-bet to 220,000.
This is actually the exact minimum re-raise. Moneymaker raised at 80,000, and Galen Hall clicked it back.
I got some too.
He puts his sunglasses on. His look cheaper than Chris's.
It's all in the sunglasses, yo. It's all in the sunglasses.
Moneymaker 4 bets to 525,000 as his life coach watches on.
Money's not going to stand for the small ball clickback game.
Galen Hall makes the call and will see a flop in position. Moneymaker in control. Has to be fearful of the fact that his 4-bet got flatted, and there is a set of 10s for Galen Hall.
Moneymaker did pick up a gut shot, but he's drawn slim to just an 8.
He checks. He does not continue.
He wisely slows down.
Galen Hall checks behind.
What an interesting check back. He's trying to trap to the max.
Moneymaker pairs his 7 on the turn.
If top set wasn't enough for Hall, he's got a straight flush draw to go with it.
Moneymaker checks a second time.
And Galen Hall playing the do I have a diamond in my hand game.
He's not going to check the turn. He's going to bet it. 550,000.
Notice he also put those chips in extremely forcefully. He's trying to send a message that he's strong, so he can look weak.
Moneymaker making the call here.
Moneymaker's putting Hall on 2 big cards.
Or possibly a diamond draw that didn't get there on the river. Moneymaker checks a 3rd time.
I'm all in.
Galen Hall shoves the river.
This is an excellent value shove by Hall. 1.8 million into 2.3. He's not afraid of the flush. He's not afraid of the diamonds. He just wants max value.
Really?
It is possible Hall had a hand like Jack Queen or King Jack that missed the straight or the flush draw.
I call.
Moneymaker makes a hero call and sees that it's the wrong call.
Bluff catcher gone bad. This is Moneymaker's first misstep. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact Galen Hall double-checked his cards and put in his chips with a strong pound on the table.
Wrong read. Nice hand.
I mean, we call that the reverse tell.
Moneymaker now down to 2.7 million.
That's right. Don't lose your focus. You're fine.
Well played by Galen Hall.
I need to just stick playing all ins.
I made a big call and I was wrong.
It's okay. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. It's okay. You have 4 million?
I got like 2 million.
2 million left?
Yeah.
Now you just gotta. That's fine. Now you gotta make your comeback. So that's fine.
Moneymaker taking a breather, trying to regroup before he attempts to make that comeback.
Day 5 is well underway and the final table's in sight. Chris Oliver remains unstoppable. He just eliminated another player to soar over 8.6 million in chips.
All in.
Sam Stein continues his comeback, once again catching a card on the river.
I'm sorry about it.
And is now over 4.2 million.
Easy game.
But all eyes remain on Moneymaker, who was on fire early, but after the misstep against Galen Hall is now just hoping to hang on.
Come on, Chris, you're better than that.
14 remain, including the player who started today as chip leader, Ana Laura Marquez, involved in a hand here against Bolivar Palacios. Both players committed more than 500,000 chips pre-flop. Palacios has picked up the nut flush draw on the flop. Both players have checked, and Palacios gets there on the turn, and he checks again. We don't know what Anna has, but she's betting it 400,000. Quick call from Palacios.
Dr. Slow Play.
Queen of clubs on the river. Palacios checks a 3rd time. And Marquez checks behind. He might have missed a bet there, but he does win a pot with more than 2 million in it.
Marquez may have saved some money. She might have had a king there.
Bolivar Palacios now up to 4.8 million in chips.
Whatever.
Well, Ana Laura Marquez's stack continues to slide downwards. 2.24 million she's sitting on now. Well, let's return to our feature table where Chris Moneymaker is sitting on a similar size stack. We can see that drop he took after making that big call against Galen Hall, which turned out to be an incorrect call, a bad misread. Galen Hall understandably smiling after getting the double up through Chris Moneymaker. The blinds are up. They're now playing 40 and 80,000 blinds with a 5K ante. Action's going to be on Michael Pesek.
Every pot crucial now.
He folds, Max Weinberg folds, Galen Hall's in the cutoff. And he will pass as well. Sam Stein has the dealer button in front of him and Queen 6 of spades.
That's plenty good to open the button.
He will raise to 180,000. A quick fold from Mike Sowers in the small blind. Moneymaker looking down at Queen Jack in the big blind.
Moneymaker in a dominating spot here with the larger queen.
So he has called. And the flop is Jack 5 Jack. Trips for Moneymaker.
An even more dominant situation now. Moneymaker has flopped the goods.
He checks to the razor. Sam Stein does not continue. He checks behind. It's the 10 of spades on the turn. Stein picks up a flush draw.
Things could get interesting now.
Moneymaker leads out for 260,000.
This is a good bet out of money with 2 draws coming on the turn.
Stein makes the call.
Stein searching for that spade.
And he hits it on the river. Stein improves to a flush.
315.
He's made it 315,000.
This is small. This was only 1/3 of the pot. Moneymaker looking to get called, but I don't think Stein's just going to call.
He doesn't. He raises it up to 1.2 million. Moneymaker only has about 2 million behind.
Money saved is money earned. Moneymaker could pro fold or pay it off and blame it on variance.
He folds, and he shows that he folded a jack.
Excellent pro fold out of Chris Moneymaker.
He has been playing superbly well. His reads, bar one, have been solid all day. But Stein wins another big pot, which sees his stack rise above the 5 million mark. Moneymaker dips below 2 million in chips. Let's head out to table 2, where Bolivar Palacios just eliminated Calvin Anderson. He's now over 5 million in chips. But he and the rest of the field still chasing this man, Chris Oliver. He's got close to 9 million right now, and he has got Greg Baksick all in and drawing to a gut shot.
An 8 and only an 8.
10 on the turn changes nothing. Baksick needs to hit that 8 on the river, or he's gone. He will be eliminated. He is our 13th place finisher here at the PCA main event. He collects $115,000. More chips for Chris Oliver, as if he needed them. Everything has been going his way today. The same cannot be said for Ana Laura Marquez. Oliver, a dominant chip leader. He's moved over the 9 million chip mark, being chased by Bolivar Palacios, Galen Hall, and Sam Stein. Ana Laura Marquez now 8th in chips. The super short stack is Michael Pesek with just 2 big blinds. Well, Galen Hall has the chip lead on our feature table. Under the gun, he looks down at Queen 9 of clubs.
No reason to stop raising now.
Sam Stein's been moved to the outer table, so action's on Mike Sowers. Sowers has let go of the 5 deuce. Chris Moneymaker has Queen 10.
Better suited queen for Chris.
And he has made the call. Anton Yanel has Ace Jack.
Squeeze it, Yanel. I'll never see that squeeze, James.
Instead, he calls in position. Michael Pesek is forced to call all in. And Max Weinberg will let go from the big blind. So we've got action on the side here with one player all in. 4-way to the flop. And the flop is King 10-3.
Disastrous flop for Pesek. A pair for Moneymaker and a gut shot for both Yanel and Hall.
So Pesek is all in, which means action's on Galen Hall.
Check.
He checks it to Moneymaker.
Who may potentially bet to try to knock his opponent out.
No, he checks as well. Yanel is counting out chips for a bet, but he checks as well.
It's an intimidating check, though.
The whole table knows he thought about betting.
It's another king on the turn, so Moneymaker with kings and 10s still has the best hand. It's Galen Hall who bets here. Makes it 225,000, gets a quick call from Chris Moneymaker.
Over to Yanel, who has the gut shot to Broadway and decides to come along.
If you're Michael Pesek, you're thinking, I don't fancy my chances here. There is the queen on the river, which gives Yanel the nut straight. Poor Pesek.
Seem pretty content just to sit there. You think this one's getting shipped back to you?
Never on a month of Sundays.
Check.
Galen Hall did bet the turn, but he checks the river.
Chris Moneymaker content to check the 3-pair.
And Yanel checks as well. It is a paired flushing board. Galen Hall thought he had the best hand.
No, it's okay. Next time, try to think about it.
And he gets a rub down from Yanel. We have lost Michael Pesek. He's our 12th place finisher here at the PCA. He'll collect $130,000 while Yanel gets his stack up to $4.7 million. Moneymaker has fewer than 20 big blinds. Well, this Romanian amateur is performing very well here in the Bahamas.
My name is Anton Ionel. I'm from Bucharest, Romania. I used to be an engineer. Now I have my own business, which is good. 6 years ago, I went to the first EPT to Monte Carlo. I was so stupid. It was my first tournament. I was chip leader after the first day. I busted in the second, of course. If you ask in my country, everybody will say I'm completely crazy.
Yes. The 4 of hearts.
I think here everybody think I'm a tight player, which I'm not. What I learned from live game is that you have to win maximum possible from a good hand, and that's why I play like this. It's about math, and it's about how relaxed you are, confidence. I think I'm better than them. I think nobody is as good as me. I think I can do anything in this life and try to reach my dreams, reach a final table.
A self-confident guy who's clearly enjoying himself in the biggest tournament he's ever played. Well, back to our outer table, where Philippe Plouffe is all in with ace-8. He's been called by Bolivar Palacios with ace-6. Plouffe in great position here to double up. And there's an 8 on the flop.
Palacios gonna need to see a good backdoor card.
It is a club, and that gives Palacios the flush draw. Plouffe wants those pair of 8s to hold. They do. So he gets the double up through Palacios. And Plouffe's wife clearly loves the way he races. He's up to 2.6 million now. Palacios taking a knock, his stack down to just below 3 million.
Hang in there, Bolivar.
I keep wanting to beat myself up. So.
You shouldn't beat yourself up.
I mean,
there's 1,500 people that wish that they were you.
This is true. This is true.
So, see things as they are, but then see them better than they are.
Yeah, I guess everybody in this room would rather be up here than up there.
Exactly.
More motivational words for Moneymaker, who's still looking to claim that second major tournament title. Mike Sowers under the gun here, and he's folded. Chris Moneymaker starts the hand with about $1 million in chips.
Come on.
And he is shoving. Moneymaker is making a stand with King-6 of clubs.
A tad ambitious of a stand.
It's like 1.2, right?
No, 1.1.
You want to sweat it with me?
Sure.
There's an ace.
That's not good for you.
No, that's not good for me, maybe.
And a 6.
That's really bad for me.
Oh.
You had to have the 6 to go with it.
Yeah, I know.
Moneymaker drawing very thin.
10 BBs, I shipped King-6, he's got A6, so I got King-6.
What do you have?
A6. I know.
A costly miscount for Moneymaker. He actually has a tad over 14 big blinds.
Galen just owns me today, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet. I guess, do I really want to use my one time here?
It's a lot of equity.
I'll save it for a better spot.
Chris actually has 28% equity. He needs to see a king or some clubs. He doesn't get clubs, he doesn't get a king.
7 of spades.
He's now a huge underdog with just 2 cards to come. There's a king on the turn and Moneymaker takes the lead.
A flush draw for Hall.
It's a decent sweat too.
It is a sweat.
He didn't even have to use this one time if he breaks out.
Yeah, I know, I'm glad I saved it at this point. But
So Chris Moneymaker is 1 card away from a double up. He needs to fade aces and spades on the river. It's an ace, Hall's hit.
I should have used it.
And Chris Moneymaker will be eliminated from the 2011 PCA main event.
Good play, you guys. Galen, good luck. Use my chips well.
Thank you. I will do my best.
Good luck.
The only sure thing about luck is that it will change. Lucky on the turn, disaster on the river for Chris Money.
Oh well.
So a big stack for Galen Hall. Big disappointment for the 2003 World Series of Poker champion, but what a great run he's had here in the Bahamas. 10 remain at the PokerStars.com Caribbean Adventure.
For 5 days, all eyes have been on Chris Moneymaker and his run at a second major tournament win.
You can't bust me.
But after starting out day 5 with such promise,
It's hard to bluff the fish.
Moneymaker's joyride took a wrong turn.
Really?
First, a key misread left him looking for answers.
I made a big call and I was wrong. It's okay.
Then he fell victim to a bit of bad luck,
Do I really want to use my one time here?
which sent him out painfully close to the final table in 11th place.
To get 11th in the tournament this size with this much talent is really a huge accomplishment. I would say I made a huge mistake today, but you know what? I followed my instinct, and it was wrong in a really big spot, and that hurt. But you know, that's poker.
Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you. I guess that's the benefit of getting busted. You get paid.
1,500 other people can't get this.
There you go.
For the most part, Moneymaker played superbly. It's 1 in the eye for his critics. Of the 10 players remaining, Ana Laura Marquez has probably had the worst day. She started as chip leader and has now dropped below 2 million. We've got a hand here between Bolivar Palacios and chip leader Chris Oliver. Oliver has bet the flop with nothing, and Palacios has check-raised him. And Oliver makes the call.
Oliver is not playing his cards, he's playing his opponent.
Jack of hearts on the turn. Palacios checks, and Oliver making a huge bet. 595,000. Palacios gives it up, and Oliver shows the bluff. Needle, and a big pot. He has now got 11.5 million plus. Palacios down to 2.7 million. Chris Oliver cruising to a seat at the final table. Remember, 8 players will get seats at that final table. 2 will be a little bit disappointed. They won't be in contention for the $2.3 million first prize. Blind still 40-80. Action on Galen Hall, who eliminated Chris Moneymaker. He passes. Sam Stein. There's 10-8 offsuit.
And the button.
They are playing short-handed. Stein is going to raise it to 180,000.
A slightly better double gapper for Sowers. He is out of position, and in the small blind, this is an extremely loose call. He should be 3-betting or folding.
Same hand for Anton Yanel. He gives it up.
Yanel folded the hand, getting even better odds than Sowers. I'm not sure what Sowers is doing here.
10-4-5 with 2 spades. Top pair for Stein.
Nothing for Sowers.
He checks to the razor. Stein checks behind.
A nice pot control check.
5 on the turn, changes nothing. Sowers drawing to a jack.
Sowers may think Stein's done with the hand. He's going to take a stab at it.
He leads out for 290,000.
But in fact, Stein does have top pair. He's going nowhere.
So he makes the call. Sowers does not hit a 2-outer.
After the flush draw bricks, it's going to be hard to move Stein off this hand.
He checks.
And Sowers thinks better of it.
So does Stein value bet this river?
It'd be thin.
Well, he does, 435,000. Less than half the pot. And Sowers smells weakness. He's check-raised him.
This isn't much of a decision for Stein. The only hand Sowers is repping is a bad bluff.
Shouldn't even be thinking about this because I actually thought you were strong on the turn. And you check the river.
Well, he is confused. And makes the confused call.
Then makes the call.
Nice one. Thank you. I like listening to your reasoning at least. I know, right? I give away way too much when I do that.
I'd like to hear Sowers' reasoning for that bluff.
His stack drops to 4.6 million. Sam Stein up to 6.6 million. And let's head to our outer table where Ana Laura Marquez is all in with pocket eights. A stack down to 1.6 million.
Marquez shoving with a nice pocket pair here.
Dimitri Stelmach and Bolivar Palacios have both folded. So 2 players to get through. Philippe Plouffe gives up his small blind. And Chris Oliver calls and shows aces.
Bad news for Marquez. She's only 20% to win this pot.
She started today as chip leader, and now she is on the verge of elimination. But she's taking it very well.
All smiles.
How well is Chris Oliver running today? While there is no 8 on the flop, she has a backdoor flush draw and a backdoor straight draw.
Hope is in the air.
Well, that takes away the draws. She now needs an 8, and only an 8. She has 2 outs in the deck, just a 5% chance of surviving. But the river's a brick. Ana Laura Marquez, the last lady standing, is our 10th place finisher. She takes home $155,000 and gets a well-deserved round of applause from the crowd. The unstoppable Chris Oliver extends his chip lead after claiming his 5th victim of the day. And she's now speaking to Michelle.
You started today as the chip leader. Do you think that added more nerves?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely added stress because, I mean, I was trying to just, like, keep playing my game and everything, and I couldn't recover. I've been having bad hands all day, so it was just unlucky.
We started off with 1,560 players. It's been fantastic to watch you play. I'm sure we'll see more of you.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So the remaining 9 players now combined to 1 table. Chris Oliver has more than a third of the chips in play, a stack of 16 million. The short stack is Philippe Plouffe with about 1.5 million. The blinds are up. They're now playing 50 and 100,000 with a 10K ante. This is business time. No one wants to be the final table bubble boy. They all want to come back for the final day of the tournament and play for that trophy and the $2.3 million first prize. Action's been folded to Dimitri Stelmach, who has ace-king of spades. And he's raising. 225,000 to go. Pocket fives for Philippe Plouffe.
Plouffe is the short stack. It's either all in or fold for these 5s.
He decides to fold. Galen Hall gets out of the way, as will Mike Sowers. Max Weinberg, also not interested. 7-6 of spades for Chris Oliver.
A fair hand to defend his big blind with 100,000 chips out there. It's only 125 more to see a flop.
So he calls, and that flop is 6-6 ace. Top pair for Stelmach, trip 6s for Oliver. This could get messy.
Survey in, 10 out of 10 Chris Olivers agree. It's better to flop lucky at poker than be talented.
Oliver has checked Stelmach, who had the pre-flop betting lead. He continues for 230,000.
Let's see if it's time for a raise.
Oh yeah, it's raising time.
No slow play. He's trying to build a pot on this final table bubble.
540,000 total.
Now Stelmach can either call or re-raise.
Looks like the latter option, a 3-bet to just over 1.2 million.
It's very possible Oliver could have a 6 in his hand since he called out of the big blind.
And here comes the 4-bet. Oliver asks, do you want to play for it all?
Alarm bells should be going off in Dimitri's head.
But he jams, and Chris Oliver calls him.
Dimitri may have overplayed this flop action.
And now Dimitri Stelmach is going to need an ace, or we have our final table.
One ace, please.
He knows his outs. The turn card is a 7, which gives Chris Oliver a full house, but it doesn't change Dimitri's situation. He still needs an ace on the river. A 5% chance of getting the double up, but there's a 95% chance that we will have our final table at the conclusion of this hand. No ace for Dimitri. He's the 9th place finisher. He's the final table bubble boy. Everyone else is going to be coming back for the final and playing for the trophy and $2.3 million. Stelmach, meanwhile, gets 155K. So the remaining 8, understandably, in high spirits, especially the short stack.
See you in the final. You too, buddy. Good luck tomorrow.
And they're going to need luck because Chris Oliver will come to the final table with a stack of 19 million. That's more than 40% of the chips in play.
When day 5 of the PCA main event began, 22 players all had their eye on the final table. But one by one, they hit the rail. Ana Laura Marquez missed her chance for PCA history, and Moneymaker's quest for that second major title fell short.
Oh well.
And now the final table is set. Next time we crown a champion at the PCA. Chris Oliver takes a huge chip lead to the final table, but there are talented and hungry players on his tail.
I need to just stick playing all ins.
Like the man in second, Galen Hall. Sam Stein searching for that breakthrough win. And amateur Anton Yanel, who intends to shock the poker world.
Turns the 4 hearts.
One of these 8 men will win $2.3 million and the title of champion. From James Hartigan, William Reynolds and myself, Michelle Orr, thank you for watching the PokerStars.com Caribbean Adventure.